Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. As you know, we're on the Camaro project build for Australia, which is going to be coming up real quick. The first test and tune, which is going to be Connecticut. I'm hoping and praying we have this thing done. And as you know, we ditched the GTO. That's for a later date, 2025, drag and drive. That's the plan for that one. A lot of stuff to do. But updates on the back. I went ahead and I welded up some of the tubing here. Now this is coming out. The front tube up there is coming out. We went ahead and added 2 more support tubes off the original rear hoop section. And then I think we need to maybe put in some like X bracing coming from the tube, maybe to this rec tube, you know, both directions. And then obviously we'll do something off that main hoop once we get our cross tube in there. I went ahead and cut a couple pieces, put some small little stitches on this just to help support these 4-link brackets. I want this thing to hopefully be the best it can be, because you know, it's a little bit different when you go to a burnout event and you have an issue, let's just say, and you can bring it back to your own shop. You know, we're on somebody else's territory, somebody else's time, and unfortunately, we just can't stay there the whole time because I have a life and I have a job that I have to go to fund these dumb habits that we have. So, if you guys want to help support us, don't forget, boosted.ride.com. We've got pistons, we've got rod carnage, we've got a bunch of stuff we can give away. But yeah, that's where we're at. Next up, I'm going to cut a tube, a round tube, to go from inside of frame to inside of frame at 32 inches. And then we're going to open up some package over here, which contains some parts from Quartermax that I received a long time ago. So thank you to them for that. We'll get that all opened up, checked over on the car, and I'll show you what my plans are for the anti-roll bar. It's been a couple days, and I've just been working on stuff. You know, I need you guys to comment down below right now. Let me know if you guys want to see time-lapse material or not, because I was going to show you the Quartermax 4-link stuff there in the last clip, but you know what? Jason showed up and we just started working. I mean, I've got a tripod sitting right over there, got GoPros, got my phone, got whatever to record it. I just need to know, do you guys want to see time-lapse or you just want to see updates? Because right now, you're getting updates. And the current update is, yeah, things look a little bit different. So, stepping down in here, we actually went ahead, put a section of rec tube to raise the shock. So the floor is obviously going to follow this contour down here, and then we'll just go wrap around that rec tube. Now, the reason we did that, you may be asking, is because we were all the way at the bottom of the brackets down here for our shocks to mount. And I'm not saying we wanted to go lower, but if we ever wanted to, we wouldn't be able to. Now, the only thing that really should be adjusted is the panhard bar is not 100% flat. We're not drag racing. As long as the rear end's centered, I'm not too worried about it. I added some tabs, and I'll lift this up and show you guys in some better light, but I added some tabs for the anti-roll bar, so that is pretty well tacked in. And like I said, I'll lift it up and show you, but I'm not really sure what else we need to do back there, so that's giving us the panhard bar. Shocks will be in, everything's tacked as far as that, and the anti-roll bar, so we should be good to go. Jason got motor mounts in. Now, the reasoning behind this is because we want to be able to bolt the motor in there. I don't know if I've commented on this before, but we want to be able to bolt the motor directly in where it was. We'll get the motor down up there, bolt that up, and then with the factory mounts, we'll get it all bolted in. Then we're going to motor plate the front of it. I just want it to be in the factory location because I do have a set. I'll go over here quick. I have a brand new set of on the cart, brand new set of Stainless Works 2-inch primary, which is more than enough. I mean, the exhaust port on the head's probably like 1 3/8 inch, 1.5 inch. But they're 2-inch primaries, and they're made to go into this car, so that's why I want to make sure it's mounted specifically where it needs to be. And then we can get a transmission mount back there. I think this one can be utilized back there, but it needs some spacing. I think the original transmission with that V6 going to a 400, I think it needs to be, the mount is too low. So we can build a spacer if that's what we need. So I'm not going to worry about it because they're like 280 bucks for a mount back here. Yeah, let's go ahead. I'll lift it up here and I'll show you guys the underside, what we got going on with that anti-roll bar and such, and then we'll see where we lead to next. Well, now with it lifted up here, let's step on underneath. Try not to clobber my head. And then you can see here we've got a 1.5" tube tacked in. We've got our brackets wrapped around there that are holding in the anti-roll bar. We've got our bearings, and again, everything tacked in there, so we need to get this all welded up, but comes down here and it almost hits the panhard bar, but this is obviously a full droop with the shocks fully extended, and we're not off-roading, so I'm not worried about that. But yeah, there's a better look at those tabs on there. I had some other tabs up here further that were coming back, but they just did not come back far enough to miss that, so I got some different tabs here for that. We'll be able to just weld a nice bead down this outside edge. And that is looking good. Now all this has to come out. We need to, whoops, we got to weld all this, the in slugs in there. Shock, all that bracket, like I said, it all needs welded in. Panhard bar needs finished up a little bit. And then really, I think all the framework is actually all welded. So we should be pretty much set there. So we'll see where we go next. I need Jason to tear that motor apart over at Scott's shop so we can get some parts out for you guys that ordered some stuff. Again, boosted.ride.com. You want to support us? Pistons, rod chunks, whatever. And I've probably even got some other stuff up here if you guys clean me out. I've always got something that I can send out to you guys. So, yeah, well, let's leave it there and let's see what we come back to. Maybe a motor drop in this weekend or some other stuff, and then we'll just keep plugging away. We need to get back over. Jason checked the clear view. His hot rod is right up over there. He checked the clear view on his. It was mint. So we're good to go on the panel. Now the plan is we're going to pull it over before our next burnout event. We're going to swap this transmission in, which came out of burning green, and then that way we don't do any more damage to that one, because I hate just throwing parts in it and we haven't like fully disassembled and cleaned everything. Don't want to ruin the valve body or anything else. And then Death Trap, it's on the other side of the shop over there. And that, for whatever reason, I backed it out the other day, parked it, and it won't start again. So crank's over, no fire. So I need Jason over here to, we'll diagnose some stuff. I mean, I've got a crank signal, so it should start, but there must not be any spark coming out. So I don't know if we've got a bad ignition box, bad coil. It just needs checked over, and unfortunately, I wish I could rewire some of the stuff in there, but we've got this to do, and yeah, this to strip down because I need some of the stuff out of this yet. Yeah, so let's just keep plugging away, guys. This is your Sunday video update to end off this video. So I went ahead and actually welded up the rest of the pieces on the framework, and then I drilled out all of these spot welds going around this inner wheel tub, hoping that instead of trying to match up to some, you know, weird shaped metal with all the ridges and reinforcement, I was hoping we'd be able to just bump a nice wheel tub arched up into here. Obviously we'll have to do something about the gas door. This is the bad side. Show you this side here, you know, just lay something up in there, and at least we'd be butting into some flat metal. At least that's the plan. I did remove this piece back here. This one was this rear quarter was already replaced once, so it wasn't actually factory spot welds. This side here, I was working on getting this out, and then we need to replace this with something, obviously with some girth to it. So that way when the tires come off, this is what gets destroyed all the time in the trucks. The tires come around here, and we've had some of them that come off, and instead of in pieces, they actually come off like a retread tire, which is interesting. I mean, it actually takes the entire tread, the entire width, and just whips it around 2 foot of it and just slams into everything. Got the panhard bar welded in for the mounts, and I did add another tube up above, so we need to figure out what we're doing for some cross tubes, and then that should all be good. Like I said, right now we got to get wheel tubs and a lot of sheet metal work, and that's going to take a lot. I did work on a radiator for Nick for their pulling truck, so that took up a little bit of time today. Not a big deal, got that knocked out. And then up here I welded up the panhard bar, or anti-roll bar. I think I said panhard bar back there, but this is the anti-roll bar. And then the mounts, I slid those on, and then I had to take them back off, so I ground this one side back down. Panhard bars here, anti-roll bar links. So we're making some headway anyways. Make sure I shut gas and stuff off here. But making headway on everything. just a lot of tedious stuff. I did weld everything on the rear end as well, so making me feel good there. But this sheet metal work on the back of this car is what's going to kick my butt. So if we can get wheel tubs, I'd like it to look really nice up in here, but unfortunately, I'm not going to lie, it's probably going to be a lot of piecemealed sheets and scrap metal that's laying around. But we'll do the best we can. So like, comment, share, and subscribe. Oh, and one last update. I don't think I told you guys, but the other day, I backed Death Trap out of the shop on this side and had some issues. I backed it out, pulled it to the other side of the shop. Actually, I pulled it outside and was just reorganizing some stuff, and that was the end of it. I never could get it started again. So it's sitting over here in this complete mess side of the shop, pulling some test readings off of some wiring, and turns out the MSD 10 plus box must be junk. So it has power going in to the battery positive, and unfortunately has power coming back out. Maybe some guys know if there's an issue, maybe there's something inside of that box. I don't think MSD services those anymore because an MSD 10 Plus is really, really old. But if any of you guys have come across something like that, comment down below, let me know. Otherwise, we'll try calling MSD, see if we can send it in. Usually it's like 100, 150 bucks. You can send them in and they'll go through them and they'll tell you if they're any good or not to repair. But I think I've called before and asked questions before I bought this. I think they told me straight up front that they are not servicing, they're not doing anything with MSD 10 Plus because it's out of date. So I don't know. I've got an 8 Plus that we'll put in there, so we'll have that back up and going. Jason wants to hit up a car show next weekend, so maybe we'll do that. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, comment down below. Let me know. Do you guys want to see some time-lapse stuff of me, drilling out some spot welds, popping some metal off, TIG welding some stuff up, tinkering around with this kind of stuff, diagnosing stuff? Maybe you guys like to see some of that stuff as well, but let me know in the comments down below. We'll see you in the next one.